Once there was a clever little ladybird who wanted to know the answers to everything. She wanted to know why she was red and black. She wanted to know why she ate bugs and not juicy plant juice. And she wanted to know where the sun came from in the morning and where it went at night. But most of all, she wanted to know how many spots she had. You see, ladybirds can't see all the way round their own backs, so how can they find out unless someone else tells them? Well, not all ladybirds have the same number of spots, as you'll find out if you go looking. The clever little ladybird set off down the garden where she lived. She was sure she would find someone who could tell her how many spots she had. Ladybird went to the compost heap, where Woodlouse made his home. She found him eating an especially mouldy piece of vegetable. "Please, can you tell me how many spots I have?" she asked Woodlouse. "It's just, I can't see them myself." Woodlouse didn't answer at first because he had his mouth full and it knew it was rude to talk with your mouth full. When the last slimy, gooey piece of yuck had gone down Woodlouse's throat, he was able to speak. Yes," he spluttered. "How many spots do you have?" Woodlouse frowned and looked Ladybird all over. He thought very hard. He stood on 7 of his legs, then he stood on the other 7 legs and thought a bit harder. After a long time of looking and thinking and looking, Woodlouse spoke. 1 spot, 2 spots, lots of spots," said Woodlouse. Most tiny creatures are not very good at counting. "Oh," said Ladybird. "Well, thank you for helping anyway." And she left Woodlouse to look for something even more rotten to eat. Ladybird went off to find Bumblebee. She found her buzzing around some sweet-smelling flowers. "Please, Bumblebee, will you count my spots for me?"
"Spots," said Bumblebee. "I'm very busy, you know. No time for spots."
"Oh, please?" asked Ladybird ever so politely.
"Well, all right, I suppose I can count your spots for you," said Bumblebee.
Bumblebee looked at Ladybird very closely.
"Now, let me see."
She flew all the way around Ladybird and all the way back the other way.
1 spot, 2 spots, lots of spots, she said.
And then Bumblebee buzzed off before Ladybird could say, "Well, thank you for helping anyway." "Oh dear," sighed Ladybird. "Can nobody tell me how many spots I have?" She sat down by the pond and looked down in the water sadly. And there she saw another ladybird in the water. She couldn't help herself. She began to count the spots on the other ladybird's back. 1 spot, 2 spots, 3 spots, 4 spots, 5 spots, 6 spots, 7 spots. "My, what a lot of spots," she thought. The clever little ladybird was a kind little ladybird too. She wanted to tell the other ladybird how many spots it had, in case it wanted to know. "Excuse me, I hope you don't mind me speaking out, but did you know you have 7 spots?" She called out to the ladybird in the water and gave it a wave. The ladybird in the water waved back. Ladybird waved another leg. The ladybird in the water waved another leg back. Ladybird waved both front legs at once. The other ladybird waved both legs too. "Of course," said the clever little ladybird. "That's not another ladybird in the water. I'm looking at my own reflection. So now I can see my own shell and I can count my spots. 1 spot, 2 spots, 7 spots. Ladybird was so pleased that she jumped up into the air and flew round and round the garden in delight. And so that's how Ladybird found the answer to her question. But next time you meet a ladybird, be sure to count their spots and tell them how many they have. It would be a very kind thing to do, and it will save them a great deal of time and trouble.